Hello, I am here today with Seth Kendall. He is the cinematics lead here at Carbine Studios. I personally would not have a job here if it were not for you and your vision to come up with the idea to develop a cinematics department. And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about your career path within Carbine Studio leading up to becoming cinematics lead.
Sure. So, as you know, I started as a technical animator at Carbine about 6 years ago. So what a technical animator is coming in and building rigs for creatures and characters. So it's sort of an entry-level position for either an animator or a tech artist. And it was great because I could do these complex custom rigs that was sort of the Carbine signature style. And then I saw just this great style in the game and kind of in the animation, and that's sort of what I started doing right away. So I did that for about, in total, 9 months. But I would say that pretty early on, I found that, I was able to get through the rigging stuff quick enough that I was kind of then able to go to our animation lead and be like, hey buddy, need any help with character animation? And so he was like, sure. And so I ended up spending more and more time animating characters, and he kind of started me out with props, and then with like little creatures, and then bigger creatures, and then player characters, and pretty soon I was just doing kind of de facto 85% animation, and at that point I was animating kind of all the same stuff that they were animating as the senior animators were animating. And so that's when I kind of eventually made that switch into just being a senior animator. And so from that point on, it was animating gameplay, characters, monsters, classes, mounts, ships, all kinds of stuff like that. And, I tried out all kinds of little initiatives and things while doing that. So, I saw that we weren't really doing anything interesting for ships, so I kind of like started playing with ships, in my spare time, and what can we do with ships, and how can we make them work in the game and look cool? How can we make mounts work the way that I think they should work, where, if you have a vehicle, it doesn't just snap around, it kind of feels like it is realistically turning and banking and all that stuff. And so there were a lot of little kind of passion projects that just came up as a result of working. And, I tried out 2D animated shorts to kind of like, have fun with it and suggest we could be doing these kooky 2D animated shorts. And there are just a lot of little things that I was kind of always playing with and trying out. And eventually one of them kind of struck gold and, really rung true to our leadership, and it seemed like something that we really, really needed at the time. And so that's when kind of the cinematics team started, was just did this test, right? What if we did TF2 style Meet the Videos for WildStar? I always thought the game was kind of like that. And so just did a test, in my own time, and it was just kind of another one of my usual things. And this time, it was just the right thing at the right time. And there was a little bit of kind of strategery there. Like I had heard that there was a marketing summit kind of coming up in a month. I knew we kind of didn't really have any strong plans on visual media to use. And so it seemed like a perfect opportunity to kind of try that particular idea out. And so, yeah, it worked. I mean, as a result of that, it was, build a cinematics team to make this video series and to make in-game cinematics, which I was already kind of doing. That was another of my kind of earlier, like, little things that I kind of wanted to see if we could do in the game. And so eventually I was able to hire, you and Kishore and hire Chris over to be our designer, and we could basically make full-time, make in-game cinematics and make marketing cinematics. And then we built the team over time, right? We did eventually expanded to do dev speak, and we built guys for that. And then we expanded to doing a bunch of different types of videos, story trailer and feature trailer and all kinds of edited, interesting trailer types and stuff.
So, like, from the beginning, were you, like, from day one of being hired at Carbine, were you like, I really want to be a cinematics lead?
Absolutely not. No. When I was hired at Carbine, I have to admit my goal was not to rig. My goal was I want to be able to animate characters like they're animating characters, right? Like I came in during my interview and I saw the types of animations they were doing. They were super exaggerated, super stylized, and it was like, wow, I never see that in animation, right? I want to learn how to animate the way that they animate. Plus the style of the characters themselves, right? From the second I got the test in the mail, it was like, wow, that style's gorgeous. So it was really just wanting to be a part of that art scene at the company and then wanting to kind of learn how to animate and maybe get onto the animation team one day. And so, once you get one thing, you kind of then you're looking for what's the next thing that would be even cooler. And so eventually it kind of wound up here.
So can you talk a little bit about some of the roadblocks that you've probably hit along the way and how you managed to get around them? Because I'm sure it wasn't smooth sailing, like they're totally ready to, hire people right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those things where I kind of feel like you find a couple different types of people in the games industry or in any industry, and there's a sort of type of person that you'll find where they encounter a situation and it feels like they're not enabled to do the thing that they feel like the company needs to be doing or that they want to be doing, right? Like if it is a cinematic, we don't have a cinematic system. We don't have a writer that's designated to be writing cinematics. There's not a script. There's no VO. There's no tool set to make it. Well, that's stupid that we're not making these things, right? It's unfortunate. I wish we should, right? And then there's a different type of person that's like, I wonder if there's a way to do this. Let me try it out, right? Let me work with people. Let me try to figure out if we can hijack a system to work the way it's not supposed to work. I know we have no plans to do this type of thing, but what if we just do it and then show it to people and be like, it could be like this. We should be doing this. And I think that is the thing that gets results, right? That's the thing that separates the good studios from the less good studios, and it's what separates, people who are in higher positions from people who are in lower positions, right? You just kind of have to push through and just kind of work with people, stay excited, stay positive, and just don't give up, keep trying, right? Don't let kind of the excuses of, well, this isn't as easy as it should be, kind of get in the way, because it's never as easy as it should be.
Well, I know that having worked with you, it's infectious. I mean, seeing your the way that you have come up with these ideas and have fought through them and taken initiative of them definitely inspires me and gets me excited. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. Is there anything else that you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, always stay positive, right? Always try to be collaborative with those around you. It is not you against everybody else, right? You're all in it together. It's important to remember that, even when you are doing something that other people might not think needs to be done. And I think it's important to respect other people's opinions, right? So I tried to do a lot of pitches before the cinematics pitch that didn't yield big results, and it's because there just wasn't as big of a need for that thing. And it's important to kind of not get too attached to anything, right? Come at it with the kind of, no pressure, but I tried something out. I think it would be cool. What do you think? Approach rather than, we should be doing this. How are we not doing this? What are you talking about? You're an idiot, right? Like that won't get you anywhere. It'll just kind of get you on enemy lists. So I think, just remember, kind of, you're all in it together. You're trying to help out the team, and that is, results speak for themselves, right? Obstacles are just challenges waiting to be kind of worked around and solved, and so it's important to kind of just keep trying.
Very, very, very cool. Thank you. This is gold. I think that if students can pick up on that, it'll really help further their career and get them in a good place. So thank you.
Cool. Yeah. Keep animating.